So what do I get up to when my team is not playing? There's no game on the weekend. I thought I'd do this video to give you guys a bit behind the scenes look or insights in terms of what I get up to on the weekend when we're off, when there's no game, when I'm not involved in preparing the team, getting our scrums ready. So for those of you that are watching this that might not know me, I am Coach G. I'm Gurthro Steenkamp. I'm a former international rugby player and currently a professional scrum coach and rugby coach here in France. So it's been an unbelievable week. We had the weekend off and I used this opportunity to go back to Toulouse. So to explain my situation, I'm living in La Rochelle. My family is in Toulouse. That's where they are based, because that's where their foundation is and the support system is. And we all know this as a coach, sometimes things might not go your way and you could potentially get fired. But I wanted to do this video. Didn't really script anything. I just wanted to have a chat with you guys and give you insights behind the scenes. So obviously, congratulations to the teams that qualified for the final of the Champions Cup. We saw Northampton and Bordeaux go through. There was, wow, some impressive semi-finals, a lot of intensity. Obviously, as a coach, I'm gutted that we were not there this week, but that's life, that's rugby. But we are always working hard and we are committed to achieving some new goals, and we're definitely motivated for the next week coming up. So I went to Toulouse this week, spent some time with my kids, and I had loads of fun. Before I get into what we were up to, it's important that we spend time with family. I know sometimes it can be tough and it's difficult. We all have different relationships. Sometimes we don't get on with family members. Sometimes some family members can have a negative impact on our lives. But it's important to appreciate the people around you and also to be grateful for what you have. That is something which I try and focus on every single day. I'm a big fan of bullet journaling. I'm a big fan of writing things down, what I'm grateful for. Because as a coach, sometimes things get tough. We're under a lot of pressure. We need to perform. And that's why it's very important to stay grounded, to stay centered. And know that, rugby is important, but there are more important things in life. And I'm sharing this message because a lot of rugby players or coaches, we can be so consumed by what we want to achieve in rugby that sometimes we tend to lose perspective of what else is important in life. And for me, that's family. That's the people that support me. My wife, my kids, obviously my parents are living in South Africa, so I don't see them on a regular basis, but we speak quite a lot. So this weekend I decided to drive down to Toulouse, and even though my daughter had a cheerleading training this weekend, she was training on Saturday and Sunday, so time was limited. So potentially I could say, driving 4 hours by car only to spend a few hours a day with my kids, is that worth it? Now, just to give you insights here in France, traveling is expensive. Driving all the way down to Toulouse and back, it's not for free. But you can't put a price on that, spending time with family. And it was just great for me to see my kids. It's important to have that balance. I'm a big believer of maintaining balance. Yes, you see me sharing a lot of videos on social media where I'm training hard. I know sometimes it doesn't look like that. I'm not training for aesthetics. But you have to maintain balance. I've learned that the hard way. In the past, I used to constantly push. All right, that kind of mindset, I'll sleep when I'm dead mindset. And I quickly learned that when I'm working through fatigue, that sometimes I'm not productive at all. As a coach, and also as someone that is trying to inspire people online and trying to mentor players and coaches to develop their skill set in the scrum. Balance is important. And that's why taking time, not only for yourself, but taking time with your loved ones, with your family, and maybe for some of you, it's friends, really close friends. So what did I get up to this weekend? It was quite busy, quite hectic. I started my day off nice and early. As always, I do a bit of journaling. Recently, I've discovered the whole morning pages concept, where I have to write out 3 pages every morning, what's happening in my mind, what I'm grateful for, what I'm worried about, stressed. That's quite interesting. It takes about 30 minutes, so that was a bit tough in the beginning. Took a bit long for me to get into the swing of things, but I've been doing that now for a week, and honestly, I really enjoy it. It's quite cool. I really do appreciate those little moments and those time of reflection. And then I started getting myself ready. I wanted to go for a run before my daughter wakes up. I had to wake up at 8 o'clock and started stretching, activating myself, getting ready for a good run. But I'll tell you this, the paddle game that I played in a week, we played 5 paddle games in one day, or put it this way, 5 sets. Normally you just play 3. So my body was broken. And the next day on Friday, I did a weight session, big leg session. I don't have big legs, I got skinny legs, but I could feel the fatigue on Saturday morning. And I was like, let me push it and let me go. And I could feel my back was tight, my legs were hurting. I said, no, stop. So all I did was just go for a walk. I adapted, got back at 8 and dropped my daughter off at cheerleading. Or actually before that, we went to the local bakery and we had some patisseries and some croissants. And, just sitting there, small things. We sat there for about 20 minutes, spending time with my little girl. I don't see a lot. I see every 3 weeks or so, or 4 weeks sometimes. And, sometimes as a dad, it breaks my heart, not seeing on a regular basis. And that 20 minutes just sitting there, she's having a hot chocolate, I'm having a coffee, it warms up my heart. And I was sitting there on Saturday morning and I said like, wow, this is amazing. I'm really grateful for this because I know there are players or coaches out there that don't have an ideal family situation. And I do sympathize with that, and I do think of you guys. Life is not always easy. And if you are in a fortunate position to have a great relationship with your parents or with your kids or with your spouse or your partner, you really need to not take that for granted. You need to appreciate those moments with them. And after that, dropped the cheerleading, got back at a coaching call, mentor call, which was quite cool. I only scheduled one call during the whole weekend, and it was great speaking to this player. Really got good energy, and he's playing here in France in a lower division, and just educated him a bit on the scrum dominator mindset, the framework, how it works. And after that, I went to go play a bit of golf with my son. So let me maybe be more precise. Didn't play golf. We went to the driving range, hit a few balls. I'll be honest, I wasn't in the mood because I'm horrible at golf. I don't do well when it comes to golf. But he loves it, and we needed to do activity together. He's 17 years old and he's a gamer, by the way. He plays really well. He does really well. And that's also another thing that I learned as a parent, that, kids today are different. They're obsessed with games. It's their world. It took me time also to understand it. But anyway, going off topic. So anyway, went to the driving range. It was a great day in Toulouse, by the way. Hit a few balls. I'd actually rediscovered my love for golf. I used to enjoy it when I was younger. It takes me back in the day when I was a young kid and I was caddying for my grandfather. And he used to play every Sunday at the age of 75. He was playing golf, 18 to 36 holes, and I used to really enjoy that. It was a proud moment spending with my grandfather. Anyway, I'm going off track. So what I'm trying to share with you is that, these moments, sometimes we take these moments with family for granted, or with our loved ones, whether it's a close friend. You need to appreciate those moments, and it helps you to maintain balance. It reminds us that there are more important things in life than just winning a game of rugby or just dominating a scrum. Yes, on our podcast, we share a lot of insights on how you can perform and how you can be better and how you can really level up your performance. But we must never lose sight of those around us. And I'll be honest with you, there were times in my career I could have been self-centered in the sense of that, focusing on my performance. But as I've become older, I've realized as well the amount of sacrifice that my wife has made and my family has made. And my family is still making a lot of sacrifices. And to be honest with you, it sometimes breaks my heart. I remember once my little girl said to me, Dad, I really love that you're coaching La Rochelle. It's unbelievable. But why can't I have my dad with me every day? And that hit me really hard. She said that about, I think, more than a year and a half ago. And that's why I made a point of it, to constantly connect with my kids, be present in the life of my family. And I'm no perfect human being. Don't think for one moment that I'm on social media. I'm doing a podcast with my mate Ben. that I'm perfect. I make mistakes. But driving back from La Rochelle this weekend, and by the way, we had some good Starbucks, which was cool, played a lot of board games, Monopoly Go. I don't touch my phone. I don't touch my phone when with my kids. If I really need to look at something, I will schedule a block. I will tell my kids I need to take a 30-minute break just for me. I need to check some emails, check some messages, and I'll do that. But this weekend, I didn't do that at all. I didn't even work this weekend. I got back to La Rochelle this afternoon, watched the semi-final of the Champions Cup, and now I'm starting to do some work. I'm actually doing this video Sunday evening. I think we are the 4th of May, if I'm not mistaken. But I really focused on being present. And that's one thing that I've learned. A mistake I made when I was still a young coach, I was so obsessed with doing well. I was always working. When I got home, I would be working. I would be there, but I wasn't there. So now, today, I focus on being present. And I think that's the message that I want to get across. You know, it's a Sunday evening. Some of you are coming off the bat, spending great time with the family, or maybe some of you are not speaking to your family at the moment. You know, everybody's different. Everybody finds themselves in different situations in life, and I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to preach because I can't, because I'm not a perfect human being. I make mistakes. But taking some time to reflect on the drive back, and even though that time was short with my kids and my family, it was a precious time spent. I really enjoyed that. And I hope too that you appreciate your loved ones, that you appreciate support. So now me, I need to get back to work because I've got a big week lying ahead. First and foremost, the main thing remains the main thing. That's my priorities and commitments to my club as a coach. And then I need to start preparing as well for our new guests that are coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. But I would love to hear I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think? What do you think about our podcast at the moment? What do you guys think about what we are sharing? And I also do my best to share more videos like this and to touch base. More than a month and a half ago, I shared my journey being strong, fit, and focused. Just to give you an update of that. For 6 weeks, I've been really working hard. I've been grafting, I've been training hard. But the biggest thing that I've been struggling with has been my eating habits. So as I've mentioned before, sometimes as a coach, we experience a lot of pressures. I'm tired, I'm working hard. Also, when I do have a few hours free in the week, I'm also focusing that on doing my online courses and memberships as well. And sometimes there's always once or twice in the week where I have this cheat meal, where I eat this chocolate, and my Achilles heel is salt and vinegar Pringles. It is Snickers, chocolates. So actually on the way to Toulouse this weekend, I had about 3 Snickers. Yeah, not great. I know, and a packet of sweets. So my weight has been fluctuating, going up and down, up and down. But coming back to my vision, it's not about losing weight, it's about being strong, fit, and focused. And I'm on track in terms of the mental side of things. I'm training hard, I'm working out, I'm taking care of myself, I'm going for walks, I'm taking time to practice mindfulness. So I'm really in a good place. But my big focus this week will be to make sure that I do more mindful eating. And recently spoke to this former Springbok dietitian, and she spoke about a performance plate. So I'll be adapting that mindset. Whatever I'm eating is to help me with my productivity, my performance as a coach, and performance in general as a human being. Anyway, I'm mumbling about. I hope you guys enjoyed this new type of format of a video. It's just me getting on the camera, just sharing whatever I'm feeling at the moment and sharing a lesson. Maybe the big lesson today was, appreciating your family, appreciating your loved ones. Make sure you are constantly nourishing those relationships. It's very important. We are all unique. We are all different. But it's important to appreciate those around us that support us. And if you enjoyed what I shared, please subscribe to our channel here on Lessons from the Game. Give us a follow, like, comment. We really would appreciate all feedback. But that said, it's time for me to get back to work. We'll see you guys soon. Ciao.